this is what I want to ask you, Nico, because you see the impact on resale values of LVMH brands like Tag Heuer and Hublot. Why do you think, per rational pragmatist's question, that the watch community has maybe, according to him, less respect for Hublot and Tag Heuer?
Well, obviously I'm not on the show every week, but I do follow the show constantly. And rational pragmatist, I do have to say that I've enjoyed your comments over these last few weeks, and I've always wanted to respond. So I'm glad I get a chance to. What I would have to say to that is I get that question almost every other day. People asking me, why does Hublot take such big hits? Why is Tag Heuer so discounted? And other brands like Frank Mueller and, you know, maybe that don't fall under the same umbrella, but nonetheless, I think it's something to do with partially an overproduction, too many lines, too many models, a little bit trying to do too much, per release. But don't take away from the brands. Don't take away from Hublot's manufacturing quality or Tag Heuer. They're all still fantastic timepieces that I'm huge fans of, including what Tim has in his hand. So, and we're going to get into that very soon. But it's one of those things that whatever marketing dollars do and whatever, price reductions we see on a retail side, don't let that influence your opinions of the brand and you wanting to partake in being an owner of a great watch brand like Hublot or Tag Heuer.
Yeah, I think there's maybe a little bit of a fatigue with their level of advertising, which is saturation. I can tell you 2 out of every 3 watch billboards that I actually see down here in Miami are probably Tag Heuer.
Yep.
And that 1/3 remaining is split over everything else that's made. So yeah, saturation marketing breeds cynicism among, I think, the inner circle of watch enthusiasts, the real hardcore. Also, both brands have a little bit of a limited edition, I think, overkill tendency. It's one thing to have a limited edition that's rare. It's another thing to have many limited editions, each individual example of which may be quite numerous. But I have something right here that's made by Hublot that's extraordinary, that deserves your respect, and actually I'm going to give it its spotlight solo on my mic. So guys, enjoy this. This is a Cathedral Gong minute repeater from the Porthole people. I think I had a dog that used to turn his head like that quizzically when he heard strange sounds. But this is absolutely awesome. This is made by Hublot, handmade, hand-finished, beautifully done. Yes, it's a Cathedral Gong minute repeater. It's also a tourbillon.
You have to show him on the macro cam, Tim.
Yeah.
Come on, do it one more time for him.
Okay.
But
here's the thing, it won't sound the same on that camera because it was piping through my mic.
Agreed, but they need to see the movement.
Yeah, I'll give you a look at that. There we go. Cathedral gongs, all hand finished, beautifully done, as nice as anything that you'll see in Geneva. And actually, it's made in Geneva, so it deserves that kind of rep. Hublot can do it right when they want to. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Tag Heuer, likewise, they decided years ago, and by that I mean like 2 years ago, that they were going to focus on the 1,500 to 3,000 Swiss franc watch, whereas before it looked like they were going to be pushing for the 6,000 to 8,000 Swiss franc watch. So they were going for Omega and they wound up getting pegged back to Longines, and I think it's always traumatic when a brand has that kind of a reboot. Which brings me to one of the more interesting talking points of the last week, and that was the arrival of Jean-Claude Biver at Zenith. So Pheline, JCB to Zenith. We've got some graphics to demonstrate the point. Okay, first things first. Aldo Magada took over in 2014 when Jean-Frédéric Dufour basically broke camp and went to Rolex. I don't blame him for that, and I don't think anyone did. But Aldo Magada came in, and I will say this, the man was phenomenal. He was a regular on the time zone forums. He would basically respond to anything anyone posted for a while, and he was very proactive at boosting the brand. So I give him a lot of credit on that front, but there was a little bit of product drift. Okay, Jean-Claude Biver has had a rotating series of roles at LVMH. I mean, we know him. He's the guy with the bug eyes and the giant smile. Real nice guy to meet, too. But if you look at the progression, consider his track record. This is where Pheline has the graphics to demonstrate. The Hublot King Power. That's a look. that's an attitude, that's a marketing angle, and it's all encapsulated in the style of that watch. There's the Tag Heuer Carrera 01 full ceramic, which was just announced this week, trying to steal some thunder from the SIHH brands. And of course, earlier this year, well, I should say late last year, we saw the introduction of the Zenith El Primero Skeleton Tribute to Rolling Stones. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? The bottom line is that Jean-Claude Biver at Zenith makes me a little bit nervous. I don't want to see the brand Hublized, if you will.
This is like, and you know, I love cars, will appreciate this, and I think you will too. When Corvette changed their design from, I believe it was like 08 or 09, to the new body style, and they brought in one of the head designers from Cadillac, all the Chevrolet enthusiasts were scared, including myself. I'm not a Chevy enthusiast, but I was scared. And I think that's the road they're headed down now, and it's going to be an interesting time. I think there'll be some modernization to the brand, maybe some more of a sports feel added to Zenith, and honestly, I'm excited to see where it leads. And I wouldn't put blind faith in him, but I'll definitely put most of it in. And I want to see some new models come out of the pipeline.
Yeah, I think here's the thing. This is either going to be the crowning achievement of his career, taking a true high horology enthusiast brand that's built on interest in movements and manufacture capability, arts and science, and restoring it to something like its 1940s and 1950s heights. Or it's going to be his Waterloo, because let's face it, the guy's old, he's at the tail end of a glorious career. It looks to me like he has one idea: limited editions, big watches, black watches, hype, ads, celebrity endorsements. He's been doing that since Omega, and it's worked well, but again, it's almost like the old champion going out for one last bout in the Coliseum. I feel like this is a big risk for him and for LVMH, and I'll be honest, I wish he had appointed some young blood that he trusts rather than trying to do it himself.